Right. How should marriages deal with the porn issue?
How should marriages deal with the porn issue?
Yes.
Well, I think first of all, there has to be an acknowledgement on the part of the. Most of the time, it's a male who's dealing with porn issue. Although statistics indicate that it's that's increasingly a problem with women as well. So I think first of all, there has to be an acknowledgement of a problem. But I think the key thing is that mates feel like there's a personal rejection going on, that there's some inadequacy and insufficiency on their part. And so because they feel like it's a personal attack, it's hard for them to enter into being a supportive person for them. When that's what most people who are wanting to get rid of that problem need. So, the bottom line, I think, to give you a short answer, and I could talk about this probably for a long time, but to give you a short answer, there needs to be a supportive relationship where it's viewed as a battle together against, like any other kind of addiction, whether it's alcoholism or drug addiction or workaholism. We recognize this is a problem, and we're gonna work together to deal with it. That's what needs to happen.
All right. Cool. Thank you. How should marriages deal with the porn issue?
I think a marriage really is based on mutual trust, and if there's a porn issue, that means that one part of the marriage is not being forthright and honest with the other, and so your marriage is not going to be all it can be. And so you recognize if there's a porn issue, getting out in the open may be painful, but it will be the best thing for your marriage.
How do you believe Satan is attacking women and their sexuality?
Well, without a whole lot of time to think about answering that question, and I'd like to have more time, but I think a few ways. First of all, women are becoming some of the boundaries that have been in place in the past, some of the moral boundaries that women at least regarded, are just ignored today. Okay, so women are becoming about as crass about sexuality as men are. Some of what some might say are double standards of the past aren't double standards anymore. Women are, crossing boundaries as freely as men. So I think that's one of the ways. Calling it sexual freedom. Satan is deceiving a lot of women into doing what was always wrong for men to do. I think another way is that many young women in particular are getting their sense of love, their sense of value from relationships that are based on sexuality. Many of them are coming from emotionally empty homes, and women need that kind of emotional connection, but they're not getting it from dad, because dad may not even be in the picture. So they go looking for somewhere, and so they begin being fooled. And this is not new, but this is pronounced today, and that is that many of them are finding their sense of value, acceptance from sexual relationships with young men who are probably not a whole lot interested in long-term relationship, but the female is fooled into thinking that's what this is about. I think, and this is true again across the sexes, that the sacredness of sex is just being lost because it is so rampantly talked about, openly flaunted, that what God intended for it to be is kind of been pushed to the background. So I think that's not just for women. I think that's for everyone. Sex doesn't equal love, And I think that there are a lot of people who may be getting a lot of sex, but they feel empty because they're not being loved.
How do you believe that Satan is attacking women in their sexuality?
You know, I think that one of Satan's greatest ploys is to attack people where they're weak, where they have kind of holes in their armor. So I'm not sure there's one answer for that question. I think if in any marriage where the wife has where she's not emotionally healthy or somehow their marriage isn't healthy, I think that Satan will figure out where that is and he'll attack that. I'm not sure where that might be, but that's the way he operates. So I think that's what will happen.